Hi everybody. Say hi.
Hi.
We're back today with a live tutorial for you. We're doing projects all week long for families and adults, kids, whoever wants to join in that requires simple supplies for painting, drawing. Your own interpretation of what we're doing is just fine. We're using pretty simple supplies. Let us know if you're on here. Let us know where you're watching from. And we've decided to do this because, well, why do you think it's important to do art during like times that are a little bit challenging?
Because it makes it fun.
Makes it fun? What do you think, Mia?
Um,
You have any opinion on that?
no.
No, not really.
No.
I feel like we can get some joy out of doing things like this, and it can also help us kind of de-stress during times like this, when things are a little bit unpredictable and topsy-turvy, to say the least. But we're just going to enjoy our way through this, right?
Yes.
We're going to do some painting today. We're going to do a really fun farmhouse flower that's going to look like it's on barnwood by the time we're done with it. It's going to be similar to this. And you can do your own version of this. You can use colored pencils or whatever you have on hand. We're using wood today. The girls are going to make little shelf sitters
Can I show
with
mine?
blocks. Yep, you can show them yours. Come on over.
Mine.
All right. That's
You
Mia's.
have to draw lines.
You're going to need a ruler today and a pencil or a straight edge, something with a straight edge. And then I've got this farmhouse finish painted board that I created. And the way that I create this finish is just by doing a dark color underneath and a light color on top with like a dry brush finish. And then I'm going to go over this and sand it and make it really farmhousey when we're finished. So this is a way to take one painting idea that you can adapt for just fun artwork around the house, or you can do some farmhouse decor with it to make for your home, sell, or do it as even a virtual. For those of you that are people who are doing workshops in person, this might make a really fun virtual workshop kit to do with customers so they don't have to come in and, you know, if you've had to close down or something like that. So, so you could do it in a multitude of different sizes. Barbara says, hi, Rita. Hi, girls. You say hi.
Hi, Barbara.
My hair's a little crazy today. I did brush it, but, you know, it's a little floofy.
Mine's not brushed either.
No, yeah, we're just rolling with it here,
Mine
keeping it
is.
real. Hopefully we have less bloopers today than we had yesterday. We did the gnome, the bunny gnome yesterday for you guys. Sorry, so I didn't mean to almost hit you. You okay?
Yeah.
And so you can watch that tutorial. That's live. That was recorded on our page here. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. I used two colors for my base, but you could just pick one color or use a white canvas or whatever you've got kicking around. Hi from Ohio. Hi, Diane. Hi, Kate. Hi, Christine. So sprinkle this about into Facebook land because other people could be really in need of some sort of pick-me-up that's simple today and easy. Oh, no problem, Kathy. Thanks for hopping on. Hi, Katie. So for those of you that are new here, my name is Rita Frekot, and I own Picked and Polished, and I'm the owner and creator of the DIY Decor Makers group. So I teach women, typically I teach women how, in that group, how to create with their, oh good, Katie. Katie said it brought a smile. Miss Katie's
Hi,
on.
Miss Katie. Hi.
So I teach women how to use their Cricut machines to create stencils so that they can make beautiful decor. But we're adapting a little bit with the way things are going. I do have an SVG to share with you after this. If you have a cutting machine and you want to do a welcome for your home over the overlay of welcome over the flower, I'm going to be posting that after we're done with the live video. Hi, Deborah. Hi, Priscilla from Ohio. We have lots of people from all over the place today, girls, watching, huh? The girls don't normally go live with me, so this is kind of a big deal for them.
We did it yesterday.
Your cousin Kim says hi. All right, so so we're gonna go ahead and get started. I'm gonna pull my camera down like I normally do. For the actual flower, I'm gonna be using different blues and light sea glass green, some grays and blacks and whites.
Can we take
Well, you guys are going to be working on your flower. You're going to be sharing the progress, okay?
Can we tell what we're going to use, like colors we're going to use?
Yeah, what colors are you going to use for your flower?
I'm going to use pink. I'm going to use 4 colors.
Can you show them your base? They already made their lines, so we're going to imagine that we're going to kind of make like faux shiplap boards on these, okay?
I'm going to use
Oh my
blue.
goodness, she's got a lot of bottles.
I'm going to use
Peony.
I'm gonna use Frekot green.
Okay.
And this one's peacock.
Ooh, good one. I might borrow that peacock
Peony,
too.
Frekot green,
Okay.
and
Whoop. You grab the cover. All right. And so what color? Amethyst. All right. All right. So hi Joan. So what colors are you going to use? You're using a darker color as your base. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Since I'm using a darker color, this color, I'm going to use two colors. Frekot green and the lemonade.
And you might need to lighten this up just a little bit with white so that it'll show on your blue, right?
Maybe sea glass, I don't know.
Ooh, you could mix the two
If
too,
it looks
right?
good.
All right, so we're gonna start with drawing our lines. So you're gonna take your surface. If you have a white canvas, you can just leave it white, or you can paint it with a dark color and then dry brush a light color over it and get like a farmhousey finish, even on canvas. So yeah, she does know what she wants, Deborah. That is for certain, right? You both do, don't you? Very decisive when it comes to your artwork. All right, so
Yeah.
we're just gonna pass some time and try to squeeze as much art and music and things that we enjoy into our days and try to hopefully make some of you guys smile and enjoy your day along the way. So let us know if you have questions. I'm gonna pull my camera down here. And if you guys can't see something or if you have any questions, let me know. So if you're gonna have to scoot a little bit down so I can, because this is in the sun, it's gonna be hard for them to see. Logistics are tricky. I think next time we're gonna try to go live from the shop. We were gonna go do that today, but I just wasn't prepared enough. Okay, so the sun is shining today here in New Hampshire. Let us know where you guys are watching from. We would love to know. Hi, Rima. So I basically just took a board. I put some gray as the base coat. Mia, what's the matter, honey? You good? Okay. Took the base coat of gray, let it dry, went over it with some white, dry brushed. So I just put a little bit of paint on my brush, not a lot, and just kind of went over it and cross hatched my brush the wide ways. And then I just went ahead and found my center point on the surface. Can I see the ruler, Mia?
Yeah.
So
It's
my
an old
board,
ruler.
it's yucky, but this is what we use for painting. So there you go. Katie says definitely going to try this later tonight. Yay. Will you guys do me a favor? If you do this project, will you tag Picked and Polished to do the little @ symbol or share it on our page or message me with your pictures? It would be fun to put like a compilation together of everybody's work during this time. Hi, Kim.
Mom, somebody's watching from
Hi, Melissa.
Arizona.
Yes, Melissa's from Arizona. It's snowing there. Oh my goodness, it was snowing here yesterday. All right, so my board's 11 inches, so I did 5.5 my center, and I drew a pencil line down the middle, okay? And the pencil line, you can't even really tell it's pencil, actually. I mean, it really does. If you don't look at it closely, it looks like a shiplap board. And we're gonna go over this with a little bit of paint later on and kind of define it a little bit more, but this just gives me my basic lines. And Deborah was asking about the bottles we use. I actually get those on Amazon. I think they're in my Amazon shop for the DIY Decor Makers group. I can post that link for you, Deborah, too. So I went ahead and just kind of, I didn't want these to look like they were all the exact same width. So I just kind of did it, you know, like this one's a little bit wider, this one's a little more narrow, that one's a little bit wider. And I just did my 3 lines, and I was able to do, you know, make it look like there's 4 boards here on this one board, okay? And the other thing you can do, a nice little trick, is if you really want to make it look like it's legit like a palette board, you can take your ruler over your pencil line, and you can take a sharp edge of something, even like, trying to think, what do I have? Even like the tip of,
Mom, can I start drawing?
you guys can start, yeah? You can take the tip of something that's a little bit sharp and run it down your ruler, and it creates a groove. If you're using pine, it creates an actual groove in the wood. So that's a quick and easy way to give something a palette look that's not a palette. All right, you could even do that with pencil if you push hard enough, and then go over it with some paint. And I'm going to show you how to do that in a little bit. Okay. I just got to find my pencil mark here so I don't lose track of what I'm doing. I'm just going to show you. If I push down really, really hard with my pencil, I'm using pine right now, so it definitely creates a little groove in my wood. You can also use an X-Acto knife, or just be real careful if you do that. Hi, Annette. How are you? Hi, Gail. Whoops, did your pencil just crack?
Yes, I put that too hard.
There's sharpeners.
Yeah. Okay. So, now what we're going to do, now that we have our lines, I'm going to go back. I'm just going to darken them up just a little bit so you guys can see them. And again, I just found my center point and then I made my other two lines after that. I found that to be the easiest way to do it. Kate, thank you. You're an angel. I appreciate that.
Can I show them mine? I did mine.
Kate just posted my Amazon shop link in case you guys need like carbon paper or the vinyl that I use or whatever I was just talking about that said was the bottles. Yeah, you can show them what you've got so far. So Mia's already ahead of the curve. We practiced this earlier. She already drew her beautiful flower. We're gonna show you guys. So she's got her template already done for her paint. And you can go super soft with your pencil if you don't want the pencil to show. I'll be showing you how to do that here in just a second. Beautiful work, my love.
Can I start painting?
You can start painting, yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead. So if you want to use your ruler, honey, it's hard to do without it.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna go kind of off to the side here. I'm just gonna look at my original drawing. And I'm gonna have my original work. And they're all gonna be a little bit different, which is what makes this so fun, okay? Hold on, I just gotta make sure they can see what we're doing here. Okay.
I went a little bit off.
Can you guys see okay? Just let me know.
No.
That's okay, honey, we'll just scoop it in. But remember, when you take the covers off of these, that comes out super duper
Shoot. I forgot.
It's okay, it's okay.
Just let me squirt the next time.
All right. We had a little flood of paint over here, but it's fine. We're just gonna scoop it back into the bottle. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start. I think I'm gonna get my center of my, the center of my flower. I'm gonna start it on like what would be like the second faux board. And I'm gonna find my center point here about, okay? And then I'm gonna go down just a little bit and then move my pencil in. So I've got kind of like, if you go up your board to about halfway, and you go down just about an inch and then in, you can start your circle there. So I'm just gonna make a little dot.
Right there. Would it be right there?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be exact. You just do it wherever. This is just, I don't want it to necessarily be centered. I want it to kind of be a little uneven. And that's why I decided to put my starting point here. But you could have it centered. You can have it wherever you want. So I'm gonna go ahead and start making a circle with my pencil. And I'm using my base coat is a chalk-based paint, Dixie Belle, but you can use whatever paint you have on hand.
I need
You guys think that's big enough? That's pretty good, right? And you can make your center as big as you want, but just remember the bigger it gets, the less room you have for the petals. So some of my petals are gonna go off of the board. They won't make it all the way, and I kind of want it to look like that. I don't want all my petals to fit totally on the board.
Mom,
so
can I use this so that it's a nice round circle?
yeah. Yep, that's a good idea. You can take something you have that's circular if you want, but it's not gonna, at the end of the day, it's not gonna be a perfect circle. This isn't, we're gonna be playing with this and fluffing out the edges and all that good stuff. So, yeah, say hello, you guys, if you're watching. Let us know where you're watching from.
There's a girl from Arizona.
I know, that's exciting, isn't it?
Yeah.
So when I start with the petals, so that's kind of like my rough circle that I'm gonna start with, okay? And I'm just doing a little bit of light pencil so that I can paint over it without it showing too much. So I'm gonna go ahead and start, I'm gonna turn on my board so that when I'm drawing the petals, it's easier for me for some reason, I don't know why, to draw the petals kind of towards me. So I'm just gonna pull in here. We're gonna go a little bit narrow. Depending on what size you're using will determine. Start narrow and then work your way out and then in, okay? So start narrow and then work your way out and in. I think so. I think you can do it lightly and you can just kind of paint over it. So if you do it lightly with your pencil, you can always paint over, your finished work. And I'm just gonna keep turning my board. I don't know why that's like the easiest thing for me to do, but it
I
is.
always do.
So again,
Dry.
I'm just gonna kind of almost like you're making. This one's just gonna kind of go off the edge here. All right. And again,
This one's too small.
that's okay. You can elongate it. So if you end up like Soph just made one, she felt like it was too small. You can always elongate them. As, you know, if you're using pencil, that's part of the nice, you know, the nice part of it. So we're just gonna keep making the same shape all the way around.
Do you have an
Okay.
eraser? Yeah, I do.
No, but
So
you're just gonna
just
paint.
paint
Remember,
over
you're gonna paint over that. So you're not,
Just
as long as
use
it's a dark, yeah. You
Maybe
can,
dark tree.
or you can even wipe the pencil off with a. Let's test it out. If we decided we wanted to kind of wipe off some of the pencil, I'm thinking that a baby wipe or a wet paper towel would work. Let's see. Give it a little test here. Yeah, so a baby wipe will pull up the pencil if you decide you want to like clean up the lines. Melissa List said it's 9:20 right now in Arizona, right?
wow,
Because they're in a
that's early.
different time zone. So like this one, let's say I wanted to pull that in. There's a good little tip for you. Use those baby wipes and you can start over, even if you're doing it on paint. I'm not sure how that would work on canvas, but I feel like it might still work okay.
Mom, look my flower.
I'm gonna elongate this one a
Mom,
little
look my
bit.
flower so far.
Gorgeous.
Can I show them?
Yes. Let me get done with this part, and then you can show them your flower, okay?
This.
So that I don't lose track of what I'm doing. I'm trying to stay organized in my brain, which you know is sometimes hard for me. Okay. So here we go. I'm going to do another one here. I'm going to start, turn it around. Again, I don't know why, I like to do the flower petals towards me. I'm actually going to pull this one
It's like an eraser.
out a little bit. I started going too far to the other side. I'm just going to pull it out just a little bit. I'm going to take my wipe and I can just clean that line up a little bit. Easy breezy. Again, I think I'm gonna elongate this just a bit.
Just a tad.
Just a tad. And there we go. So there we go. We've got a good portion of our petals done on this side. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Karen from Indiana. That's where our in-laws live. Where in Indiana are you? We're in New Hampshire, but we have family in Indiana. Okay, so again, I'm just kind of turning my board as I go. And you can watch the replay of this anytime. So this, if you don't have your supplies handy and you're just kind of watching for fun, I'm gonna widen that just a little bit.
Sometimes I like watching lives just for fun when I'm bored.
Art ones, the girls have been learning, they have been learning, because both of them like to play instruments, but we don't have a lot of time for that usually, so they've been doing YouTube lessons for the ukulele and the piano
I
this
play the
week.
ukulele.
I play the piano, but I've been learning Baby Shark because that's the basically easiest thing I can do.
Yeah, that's a good one to start with, though, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, I'm just kind of pulling my petals out, right? I'm just mindful of like the size of them, so I don't have like some that are ginormous and some that are Evansville. Is that near Valparaiso at all? That's where my family is.
I finished my flower.
And one of my friends, who is a furniture artist, Leah Noel from Leah Noel Designs, she is in Griffith, I think. She does beautiful work. You should check her out if you get a chance.
Wait, is
I
she,
showed her my flower.
Mom, is she the one
Okay.
that made our signs, the signs for Christmas?
No, that was Rima. Rima's on here right now, I think.
Oh, Rima, I love your sign.
Her artwork that you have in your room.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make this one longer, so it is amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then, so I'm just kind of adjusting as I go. Like, again, I'm starting narrow and then I'm coming out. I'm just kind of pulling out my pencil. And there's my general size. I feel like these are a little bit narrow, so I'm gonna just widen them a little bit.
I finished mine.
Oh, that's great.
Let me see. Ooh la la. Okay, do you want to show? So Soph has her pencil part done.
Maybe
and this is
kind
going to
of
be a
hard.
shelf sitter when she's finished. Can you guys see that okay? And on her background we did, excuse me, we did, I'm going to go wash my hands. We did, what do you call it? Well, I did it in my elbow, so that's
Flower.
safety. We did the washed color on the background for that one. Okay? All right, so you keep working, Soph, under the camera, and I'm gonna go wash my hands. Just because, you know, even though I didn't even sneeze on my hands, I'm still gonna wash
It's disgusting.
I'm gonna show mine to them so far.
All right.
So can I show them?
This is hard.
So far I did it as a kind of shape.
Ooh,
Mine.
I like it. Are you gonna outline in black, or are you gonna leave the outline soft like that?
We are using plates.
I like how you did all the different colors, Mia.
Thanks. We're using plates to put our things on.
Yes. Okay. I gotta make sure that they can see all this.
Can I have this
Oh,
glass?
hold on. Hold tight, guys. Sorry.
What?
All right. Can you guys see that okay? And just let me know. 4 hours from there. Okay. Yeah, Rima's on here.
Oh, yeah, I love your sign. It's amazing.
Sometimes we pretend with your sign.
All right.
Yeah.
It's kind of magical the way she does her art, don't you think?
Yeah. I need
All
a
right.
black to make
So
it.
check out Rima Bachera too, you guys. She does shattered glass art. Rima, you can feel free if you guys are like local businesses and you do artwork or sell, you know, your own pieces. Feel free to post your links in the feed too. Got to support each other through this, right? All right, so I've got my general sketch down. Now I'm gonna go over the whole outline with my darkest color, which is gonna be the antebellum, and maybe even a little bit of black. I'm gonna be using black too, but the antebellum blue is gonna be like my base color, if you will.
That's the color that is on mine.
Yeah, on the base of hers.
That's my favorite one.
So, so something I want to tell you guys about this too is the paint we're going to just be doing in layers. So when you're painting in layers and you're giving things like a rustic finish, there's a lot of leeway. There's a lot of forgiveness there because you can kind of play around with the highlighting and all of that stuff. So, so as you can see in this one that we did earlier today, you know, the base coat is going to be the darker, and then I'm going to go over it with some lighter colors and then maybe even some more dark again. And I basically am using, you can do so much with just 3 or 4 colors. You don't need to have a million colors on hand to do a billion different projects. Hi, Amy. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my petals, and I'm just going to, I have an angled brush here, but you could use a micro brush, something smaller. I want my edges to be,
outline.
so this is a fatter brush. It's giving me like a softer edge. But if I wanted to go in with like a, let me see. We're kind of sharing a bowl of brushes here. So if I wanted to go in with a pointier brush like this is a rounded tipped brush, then it would give me a little bit more definition on the line. So let me show you what I mean. See how that's got a little bit more, it's thinner, it's a little bit more defined. And then I can, of course, can go in and it's a little bit easier to control than the fatter brush. So if you have a more narrow brush that you want to try to use just to give your piece some definition, you can do that. And how are you guys, what are you guys spending your time doing right now that you have, some of you maybe at home with kids or with grandkids? What are you guys doing that's bringing you joy right now, or kind of getting your mind off of things? Because I think that's really, you know, really important.
Today, to get our mind off things, we played outside a lot with our dog Wrigley.
Yeah, that's
played
always
soccer.
fun.
She's laying down right now. And I am done with my flowers.
You are already? Are you a
Yeah.
super speed painter? My goodness, man, you're fast. You're like a lightning bolt over there.
I love my flowers.
Let's see it. Ooh, it's so pretty.
This is
All
my-
right, I love this one. She did her own little stripies here and polka dots in the center.
And then
All
with
these different
black
colors.
marker, I'm gonna go over it.
Ah, you're gonna outline it with black
Yes.
marker? Ooh, I can't wait to see. That's gonna give it some definition, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So I do think it's important, you know, you guys have been following me for a while, know that I've been through cancer and colorectal cancer. And the thing is one of the things that I think helped me through was just my mindset. Of course, the support of my family and friends and the community was a big, big part of it too. But I think on the days where I was sort of quarantined myself because I had, you know, low blood counts or whatever, my mindset was really, really important. And I tried to keep perspective and stay calm when I stay calm. And it really helps. I think sometimes just getting up and taking a shower, having a schedule for yourself can be
That's
really, really
super
helpful. The girls and I have a schedule now like they would at school, and that, not that we really stick to it perfectly, but at least it's something to start with. And I think for me, when I was sick too, even just getting up and taking a shower and having a schedule for my day, even if it was just going to chemotherapy or my radiation or whatever, or just saying, okay, I'm going to get outside with the girls today or whatever, it just can make a huge difference during times like this. Not that I have, you know, any answers, but that's just my little, hopefully it can be helpful to somebody. So there's my outline for my flower, all right? And then I'm gonna go in and fill it in with my one of my darker colors, which is the antebellum blue. Yes, babe.
And if you have this kind of marker, you should use it.
Oh, you like they like this Mr. Sketch scented markers. And what does that smell like?
Licorice.
Licorice.
Ooh.
Kind of smells disgusting.
All right, so now I'm just gonna go in with my angled brush, a little bit thicker because it would take me forever to fill this in with a thinner brush. Melissa said, I'm a cancer survivor as well, and positive and creativity really is huge. It really is.
Which way does it go? That way?
What do you mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, either way, honey. Whichever way you want to do it, it's fine.
I outlined mine with black.
Let's see. Do you want to hold it under the camera?
I did.
Okay. Beautiful. What colors are you going to use on the inside? So I'm just kind of filling this out, but I'm not like, I don't want to cover up all the white because again, I want to kind of maintain that rustic feel. And I may even have a little bit of water nearby. Can I borrow that, sweetie?
Yep.
Just to put my brush in a little bit of water to almost make it like have a watercolor effect. Melissa, I'm so glad that you're a survivor too. I know it really, I have similar feelings about what's going on right now in the world because it's something you really can't control. I mean, but you have certain things you do have control over, like how you react to the situation, right? Similar to, when you're diagnosed with what could be terminal, illness of any kind. You're going to have hard days, just like where everybody right now is going to definitely have hard days during this time. But we can allow ourselves to have those hard days too, certainly. But I think
Okay, Mom. Can I show them what it looks
Working
like?
on our mindset's going to be really important.
So this is what it looks like when you have black marker. I think it gives a lot of detail.
Ooh, yes. Boy, oh boy, that black really makes the shape pop, doesn't it, Mia? What do you guys think? Do you like the black that she used around the edge?
If you didn't do the black, it would probably, the pencil wouldn't show and it would look like you're like all over the place.
You think that it makes it feel a little more like
Textury.
textury? Good word, textury. Okay, so I'm just going in, again, I'm not using a ton of paint, you guys, and I'm putting like a little bit of water on my brush. I'm leaving some of the,
Can I put,
you
Can
could
I
do
write
this
my
with
name
colored pencils or crayons even, like whatever you have at home, you can do this project. You don't need anything fancy. I do have an SVG for those of you that have Cricuts or silhouettes or cutting machines. You can use to create a welcome overlay, like and if you don't have a machine, you could always print out my template and you could trace welcome over the flower and have that be like on your door. Although that would be sort of like a cruel joke right now, right? Oh, but you could have it maybe somewhere in your house for now. Because there's going to be a day when this is done and we all look back and think about how we handled it and how we tried to make beautiful things to get through it, right,
where
girls?
can I put this, Mom? I'm done.
Let me see, sweetie. You did such a nice job. I love that. I love all the different colors. I would just put it right on the stove, the wood stove, and it'll dry because it's not on right now.
And you can, if you do have a dog that eats something, you might not want to put it on the floor.
Yeah, our dog would probably eat our artwork, wouldn't she? Yeah.
100%.
She is an eater.
All right, I'm just gonna keep turning this and keep my brush wet. And anybody can do this. I don't consider myself really a freehand artist, if that's what you wanna call it. I usually teach women how to use their Cricut machines and make stencils, and then we make decor that way.
I'm also,
So, what were you gonna say, babe?
I also like to mix colors when I'm done with stuff.
What are your two favorite colors to mix together? What'd you say?
Pink and blue and purple.
Pink and blue.
Pink and blue and
What do
purple.
pink and blue make when you mix them together?
I can show you, I guess.
Ooh. I bet you could think about it though too and figure it out. What would pink and blue make if you mixed them together?
So can I use
So
this?
I really like the every petal is a little bit different in color, like in the saturation of the color, if that's the right word. I don't know if that's the right word, but I've got some that are, darker, some that are a little softer. And I really kind of like that. This one I'm just doing like a little almost like a watercolor finish. And then I'll go over it with a little more of the main color. Just kind of coloring it in, leaving some of the white to show. And if you have an area that you don't like, you can just use a baby wipe and go right over it. And it'll either blend it and make it look like a less of what you wanted, or it'll just kind of pull it all up. All right, so now I've got that main part done. I'm gonna go in with some of the, I think I'm gonna do the Midnight Sky, which is like a slate black. I'm using kind of the same color schemes with most of my projects this week because I wanna show you guys you don't need a lot of paint colors. You can do a lot with just a few colors. And I'm just gonna kind of work that in. Take some of it off
I
here.
like also mixing pink and blue too.
Yeah. What does pink and blue make me, I wonder? What do you think that's gonna make?
I'm doing it right now, but you cannot look.
Do you have any guesses on what it might make though? For a final color?
This color is blue and purple.
Ooh. Which
That
color? This
down
one?
there, yeah.
And this is blue and pink?
Yeah.
So blue and pink make what color when you put them together?
Purple.
Purple. Such a smarty patardy. Okay.
Can I
So-
try to
I'm gonna just soften my edges. The way that I'm doing that is I'm leaving the black on my brush. I don't have very much paint on it. And hey, Amy. Auntie Amy's watching, guys. Amy and
Hi.
Wendy. And I'm just going to soften my edge with just a watery brush. Like I'm just rubbing a little water from my tablecloth onto my brush. Do you see how that like softens up that hard line really nicely? Just kind of makes it a little bit, makes it flow a little bit more, I guess. And we're going to go over with lots of texture with this. Yeah, but be careful because it'll drip. It'll mix your colors together. So you might want to, I really love those colors. You might want to just put it on the side and use the brush. You can do it, but it just might mix everything, make everything drippy. All right. So now we're going to go in with again, I'm using my darkest colors as my base, and then I'm going to go in with a hurricane gray, which is like a medium gray. And I'm just going to kind of, it's almost like I'm highlighting the center with it. It's a little bit different than the one I did earlier in the way that I'm doing the center, but there we go. So some of the black is still showing. I've got water on my brush. It's going to make it blend a little bit better. And then I'm going to kind of let that dry, and then I'm going to end up pulling some of this color out into the petal like that. We'll do that in just a second here. I'm going to go back. Let's see, I'm going to go over my petals again. I'm going to use a white, a light green blue, and then maybe like a dark gray, or maybe even the peacock. What do you guys think? Should I add a little splash of peacock to this?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was going to use the peacock.
You can still use it, honey. I don't.
Okay.
Hold on. But you know what you're going to have to do?
What?
You're going to have to just use the lid, okay? Because if you try to tip it over, it's going to spill everywhere. All right. Here you go. Nope, just use that.
Oh.
It's okay. All right. So now, I'm just going to go in, kind of just give each side just a little soft brightness. So I'm picking the left side, not that it really matters. I mean, you could do both sides. I'm adding a little bit of water to my paint. I've got the peacock green, or it's like a teal color. And if you guys don't mind passing this along, because this could really, maybe it could pull somebody out of a funk today, or give them something fun to do.
Funk.
Funk isn't a swear word. You guys just catch that.
Well,
All right,
with
so
my brush,
I'm
with
just
my
kind of
brush.
going along this
Sophia.
side and just kind of
With my
rubbing
brush.
it, a little bit of watery. I'm softening up this line here too, this edge. I want to kind of, do you guys see how that's kind of a hard line? I want to kind of try to soften that up a little bit. I'm going to do that with the green. Ooh, did you make a really good color?
No.
If anybody caught yesterday's live, we had quite a few bloopers on that one, live bloopers. Like just funny things that happen on a live video or like on a video that
One
you can't.
including Wrigley did some stuff.
Yeah, Wrigley was a little bit crazy, but we wore her out before this live, didn't we?
Yeah.
All right, so I've got a little bit of peacock highlighted on around my edge, and now I'm going to go in with, I'm going to do I think some of the sea glass.
I made such cool designs, Mom.
Can't wait to see. All right.
Do you want to see my designs?
Of course I want to see your designs. All right, so now I'm doing the right side of my petals. I'm just kind of swooping in. Swoop, swoop.
I
And
found
rubbing
out
out a little bit.
these
with
are
my finger.
designs.
Oh, almost like a paint pour.
That,
You guys
that,
see
and
that? All right, we got a paint pour going on over there. Beautiful. I like this pink one here with the green.
Whoa,
I know.
Sophia, that is amazing.
All right, so we're gonna do this side. Again, I'm just doing the opposite side. I did the peacock on this side. Now I'm doing this sea glass on this side.
I finished mine.
Okay. Oh my goodness, I love all the texture in the middle, honey. Wow, gorgeous. Look at all those pretty colors together. Hi Tracy, hi Lynn.
I used three different
So how did
brushes.
you get this texture? Can
I
you
used
show
this
us?
brush.
Okay. She used that brush,
And
and,
then
did you
to paint
pounce?
the petals, I used this. And then to
Okay.
do the outline, I used this brush.
All right.
I just made a
awesome.
cool color.
Beautiful. Honey.
Green.
I love all the colors you chose.
Green, pink, purple, and blue make this color.
Pretty. It's like a
Maroon.
it's like a maroony purple.
5.
So I'm gonna go ahead in here again
Can I show
with
them
just
the
a
color?
little bit. Yep. Just let me finish these petals, and then you can share your colors.
I'm
Okay.
gonna keep mixing.
Otherwise, I lose track of
do
what I
that
was
too.
doing.
Wait.
Again, I'm just kind of going in.
Wait, how do you do that?
I just mix the color.
Just on the
Watch.
left side. You can go in with a smaller
do
brush because
this.
your petals are smaller. And then I wipe it with my brush, and then I
Take
wipe it
this
in with my
little brush
hand.
And start mixing.
Okay. And then maybe a little bit of lightness you can kind of feather in the center. If you pick one of your lighter colors and just kind of feather out from the center here. And I'm gonna work some of the dark colors out into flower here in
It
a
dries
second.
really fast.
If you use a chalk-based paint, your paint's gonna dry pretty quick. So I'm just gonna kind of pull my lighter color out. And there's no like science to this. I'm just kind of winging it here, guys. Just
I'm
having
using
fun.
science. I'm science.
That's true. There is some science to it, isn't there?
There's signs
You
and
got me
everything.
on. You got me on that, girls. There is science in everything, isn't there?
Yeah.
Silly mom. Okay. I'm just gonna go in a little sea glass left over on my brush. I'm just kind of going in and just using my finger to blend it in just a little bit. Okay. All right. So now I'm gonna do. Fill in these little sections around the edge of the flower. I'm just gonna kind of go through with my sea glass, which is one of my lighter colors. And then I'm gonna go in with my darker colors. Okay, so I'm gonna use some of the Midnight Sky. And I'm just gonna kind of fluff out that color a little bit. I don't even know what the word is. I think I actually need a little bit darker for the contrast, I think.
I fucked it out.
You fluffed it out? Oh, you did.
I wanna see
It's so
what-
pretty.
Lemonade looks like this.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay.
Your wife's turn.
Yeah, you got. Just make sure you're not getting paint
I'm not.
over the edge, okay? She's got a whole paint pool going on over there, mixing. It's looking good. Okay, so I'm actually gonna take my angled brush and pull
This is another good
away from the center of the circle, and then it's going to come to a little bit of a point in the middle.
Mom,
I'm
do you
just
wanna
kind of
use this
softening
paint?
this circle a little bit.
Mom, do you want to use this kind of paint? Do you want to use it?
I may after this. Yeah, we could use some of that for another bunny gnome, couldn't we? Don't
Can
you
I show
think?
them it?
Yeah. You guys can have something to eat while you're waiting for mommy to
Just
finish.
mixing with colors. You can see what colors some
Ooh,
make.
look at her soup. Paint soup.
I have a crayon like at school that looks like that.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
you do?
that color.
Do you know what the color's called
I
in
don't
your
know.
thing? Whoops. All right. So I'm just going to keep just kind of pulling that color out just a little bit. I've got the Midnight Sky on my brush.
I'll leave it right here.
Again,
for
I'm
you.
just trying to soften that center line, that center
Yeah.
circle there.
Are you gonna make your own?
I'm using an angled brush. I can do it when I'm done, girls.
Okay.
You can do it. You can have something like snacky now and then. All right. So there's that. And then again, this is just the base layer. So we're going to layer over this with different colors. It's not going to stay looking like this.
I'm gonna keep mixing. Hey, Sophie, is it okay if I mix your colors into mine?
Sure.
So do you want to put that on the stove so it can dry, honey?
Sure.
All right.
Mom, I'm making it in lighter. It's light.
What color? You're adding the light yellow? All right. So let's see. How are you guys doing? I'm gonna look at the comments for a minute. Somebody said yum to your paint soup, Mia.
Ooh, thanks.
let's see, blend out, but I prefer fluff.
It has berries in it.
Oh, it does look like smushed berries. Hi, Clara.
Hi, Clara.
All right, so now I'm gonna soften this a little bit with the Hurricane Gray, which is a little bit, even just a little bit lighter. Just gonna kind of keep going with that pattern from like about like just a hair inside of where the original circle ended. I'm gonna put my brush so that the tip of the angle is on the inside of the circle. Okay, just gonna smooth it around a little bit. Then let's do a little sea glass too to kind of.
I'm gonna mix your paint.
I think
around.
actually the sea glass I think I'm gonna actually use for the circles on the inside. So for right now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna soften the hard lines on the edges of the petals, and then I'm gonna go in after this dries and add some detail to the center. Let's see. Okay. I
Here's
think I'm gonna
Greg,
use
you
the
need it too, Mom.
sea glass. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I'm making all.
And I'm gonna use a little bit of water on my brush so that it'll, again, if you use a little bit of water, it really does soften the harder
Here's the
lines. So
door
I'm just
face.
gonna kind of take a lighter color and go around my edges and just kind of soften those edges just a little bit. I don't want to totally cover up the edge and get rid of the definition, but I just kind of, it's almost like when you're doing your makeup or something and you're, not that I'm like a big makeup person, but you're kind of softening maybe like your eyeshadow or something like that. You're layering your color. It's kind of that same sort of idea. Or you're softening your eyeliner when you're going over it with some eyeshadow. So it's kind of like that same sort of feeling. And I'm keeping my brush fairly wet, and so that my lines are soft.
Look who finally woke up. Look who finally woke up.
Okay. And then this edge here. This edge here. So you can still see the defined lines. It's just not as hard of a line. Okay. All right. So there's that. And then I think I'm going to go in with a tiny bit of fluff just to, again, it's like for me, when I'm painting stuff like this, I like the rustic, like imperfect sort of finish. So I'm not really looking for like perfect lines. I kind of go the opposite way.
Mom.
Aw, she's tired. And again, with a little bit of water on the table. Girls, make good choices, please. Okay, I'm just gonna go down one side. All in different, different lengths. They don't all have to be the same. Whoops, this one was supposed to be on that side. That's okay. Different lengths of white. And I'm sticking to the left side of the petal, my left. This one I did the wrong side, but it's okay. And then I'm putting some in the middle, just a little bit, like what's left over on my brush. Down the middle. Okay. So now let's do the center point here. I'm going to overlay with a little bit. I'm going to keep that fluff on my brush and just kind of lightly just go in like circular motion over the center and just like to rub it in just a little bit. Hey guys. Oh, thank you. All right, now I'm going to go in with the back of one of my paintbrushes and also with one of my micro brushes and make little circle dots all over this. Let's see. You can use different size brushes. I think it just depends like on your personal preference. I like for this size surface where I want to make the dots, probably going to pick one of my more narrow brushes. This is a number 2. very pointed at the top. And so I'm going to use that for the center here for my dots. I'm going to use the fluff, the white for that. Get a little bit on it. And then I'm also going to be using the sea glass for the little dots here. So I'm just going to do little circles. They're not perfect circles. They're just like, you know, I kind of work in almost like in triangles when I'm doing like a pattern like this. But it doesn't really matter. You do what you like to do. I feel like it just gives it like, it's easier to keep it a little bit more random when I do it in little, almost like little triangle patterns. Or diamonds even, if you want to do that.
Wait, what is our flowers going to be? I forget. What is our flowers going to be? I forget. Like, what are they going to be turned into?
Shelf sitters. Yours are on chunky wood.
What's
So
that?
you can do this on if you have an old bucket laying around, if you have an old vase, if you have a piece of wood, if you have a canvas, a piece of paper. You can do this flower on really any surface that you want. Maybe repurpose something you have. You could even take a frame that you have and you know, paint it. If you have a chalk-based paint at home, paint the glass and then a base coat and then put this flower over it, and that would be a really great way to repurpose something you already have at home. And, you know, give it a little bit of new life. All right, so this is just my first layer. And then I'll go in and just kind of fill in the center here.
Do you want me to make lunch?
No, honey, I'll do it in just a second. You guys can have a snack if you want, something healthy. Just kind of fill these in. And you could leave them open. You don't have to fill in your circles. I'm not filling them in all the way. Just kind of quickly, almost like dotting them. Again, we're not looking for perfection here. We're just getting like a rustic finish. And then after I'm done, I may go over the whole thing and do some sanding. What do you guys think? Just to give it that final farmhouse sort of feel. There we go. Okay. Now I'm gonna go over it with the back of my, oh, thanks, Clara. The back of my, I can't think, sorry, paintbrush, and with the sea glass. But you guys can, again, you use whatever colors you have on hand. And I'm gonna be generous with my paint on the back, like that. Just kind of make dots all around. Gonna try to keep it on the tip of my brush so that I can get nice. I have to keep dipping. There's something relaxing about doing this. Have you guys ever done dotting before, like dotting art?
Oh, I can show them my art.
Do you have it to show them, honey? Do you have it handy?
Yeah.
Was it relaxing when you did it?
Oh, I was at school.
I know, but was it relaxing when you did it at school?
Yes. There's some coffee because Daddy put on it because Daddy put
Did he set something down on it by accident?
yeah.
Let's see.
But it's
Ooh. Oh, what was the artist that does the dots? Do you guys remember the name of the artist that you were learning about?
like a tree.
Yeah.
I don't know where it went.
Look at her dotting.
I think it was like Joelle or something. I don't know, but
We'll have to look that up. I feel like the artist's name begins with a C.
Kate.
No. I don't remember. They're like known for everything they make has like dots everywhere that create images and stuff.
Those are so.
All right.
Mrs. McLean.
So we're gonna go ahead and do, I think another layer of dots too. We're gonna do, use a bigger brush, bigger round pointed brush, and do the darker color also, just to do one more layer of texture here. And so that it just I feel like sometimes with things like this, it's such a simple design, but it gets really interesting when you start adding more layers and patterns and stuff. You can take something super simple, just add some layers to it like this, and you have something that doesn't look so simple anymore. Maybe some more
Mom, can we
white.
just say hi at the end of this video?
We say hi at the end?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, let's see. I could just go dot crazy here, guys. All right, I'm gonna do some peacock because that was the other color that I used in my thing. This is a fun project for kids or adults, I think, because there's a lot of different ways you can do it. There's different surfaces you can put this on, and it's something that can be simple for everybody to enjoy. All right, so I think I'm gonna let mine dry like that. I am gonna show you what it looks like when I distress the edges here of the wood, and then we're gonna go ahead and lift up the camera and show you everybody's work all next to each other here in a second. You know, the girls really want to do that. So in Wrigley. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and distress my edges. And again, on the base coat, I just did a dark gray. I did the Hurricane Gray from Dixie Belle, and then I went over it with a dry brush technique. And if you guys are interested in learning that, I can certainly do that in another video. Just when you're sanding, it gets pretty dusty, so you make sure that your paint's dry. All right, and you can see if I want to go over my pencil marks, I can take a really fine point brush and give those lines like a final, what do you call it? Like a final barnwood sort of shiplappy look. I'm just going to take my gray here and just kind of fill that space in. I almost don't even have to. The pencil really doesn't, you can't tell that it's pencil from up close even. So I'm just gonna, but usually when you're working with barnwood, the edges aren't completely even, you know, it's never like perfectly straight. So it's okay if your lines, it'll look more natural if your lines are a little bit like not perfect, I guess, imperfect. They don't have to be perfectly, you know, the same width or whatever. I'll go ahead and do this one, and then we'll be done. This was a long, what time is it, girls? This one was a long one, longer than I thought.
12. Oh, 1 o'clock.
Oh, the nice thing about these live videos is you can always do your own time, so. And then I'm just gonna rub this line out so it doesn't look so hard, okay? Looks a little bit more natural when I do that. All right, so let's see. All right, guys, do you want to come over here and share your work? Hey, Amy. Some people I haven't seen in a long time. How are you guys? All right, so we've got a bunch of projects on the page for you for this week, every day. We're doing a different one together. Let me just, hold on.
Tomorrow is some kind of crazy design. It's fun,
Yeah.
I think.
I think we're gonna do something with mandalas tomorrow.
Yes.
And I'm gonna put my own farmhouse twist on it. And we'll have SVG files for those of you that use your Cricut machines or silhouettes. We'll have those ready for you. I love the texture in the middle of yours, so that you can cut a design and cut out welcome and use a stencil and put a welcome over it. And then, you know what? That welcome sign that you make will be a reminder to you that you will be welcoming guests back in your homes and in your lives very soon. Before we know it, this will be over, and how we react to it will matter a lot. So come on over, Mia. Share your design. Yay! see here. They all have their own interpretation. I love how different they are. Here, do you want me to hold it so they can see?
Can I hold Riggs?
Right? No, let's not hold Riggs right now. And they're going to use these as shelf sitters. Whoops, shelf sitters on their, oops, this one's upside down, says Mia, on their dressers. So, let's see yourself. One more little sneak peek. We appreciate you guys joining us this week for our free live series of things you can do at home to bring a little art and joy to your life during this difficult time. And we hope that you've enjoyed them. Sprinkle these out into Facebook land so other people can enjoy them too. Look at all the hearts we're getting, girls. Wrigley says woof.
Wrigley.
Right, Riggs? You were a good girl today. Yesterday you were naughty while we were going live. Yes, you were. So we love you guys and hope you're all doing well, and look forward to seeing you guys again tomorrow at noon. And please hashtag replay if you're watching us on replay. Bye, guys.